Hey there, Andrew here from The Reach Company. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking at adding a newsletter to the 10,000 Reasons website. And we're going to begin by looking at this newsletter example, and you can see the different elements as we go down the screen. First, we have the newsletter example. This is the title. Behind this, we have a picture. This is the featured image for this article, this newsletter. Below that, we have a call to action for people to join the MailChimp list. We have sharing options, and here we have the actual content of the newsletter. And below, all the way down here, we have the author and the comment area. And so to add a newsletter, we're going to jump over to the back end. You'll start here on the dashboard, and you can click on Make a Post, and this brings up a list of all the posts that you have on your website, the grant recipients, the stories, and the newsletters. And we're going to, rather than, if you were making a new one, rather, you would click Add New. Instead, I'm going to go down here to the newsletter example we have, and I'm going to edit it and walk you through it. First thing that comes up is the newsletter example and the content. Now, your first time in here, there will be some little tool tips that pop up and kind of walk you through the editor. I really recommend going through those. It'll make navigating this area much easier as time goes on. And here we have the different blocks that make up the newsletter. You can see I have an image here, some text, and you can find all the blocks that you can use right over here. Usually these most used will cover what I needed to cover. For newsletters, you're mostly going to want to do text and images anyway. And so, for example, one common block might be you want to add a gallery of images to the newsletter. So you can click on gallery, it adds it here at the bottom, and if you want to move it up, you can just move it just like that, and you can add images here. So that's how to add content. Again, I really recommend going through these tooltips, maybe making a test newsletter and playing around. Down here on the extra info, make sure that you have a newsletter selected. This will make sure that it looks like this, and so that it displays correctly on the front end, you have to select newsletter. Over here on this side, you can see we can switch between document and block. These are blocks, and so if I click over here, it'll switch to block, and I can change the settings for this block based on this. If I want to change settings for the whole newsletter, I need to click on document. And so going through this, you have the permalink, which is just where people will go to see it. Categories and tags, you can add those if you would like. And what we need to make sure to add here, though, is featured image. And so I'm just going to select the other featured image. I believe it was that one. Select that. And you shouldn't have to mess with any more of these things right here. Now, the last thing I would suggest changing is the post SEO settings. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this does a few things. First, primarily what it's meant to do is kind of tweak your content so that it's easy to find and see on Google and other search engines. But an added benefit of this is that when people share your content, you get to control what people initially see from that shared link. So what I like to do is, for the meta description, I like to take the first few sentences of my post and throw it into the description and get it just long enough so that when your post is shared on Facebook, for example, people will see this description of it instead of just whatever the first little bit of text that is on your post is. The second thing is I like to change the image. I like to make sure that whatever image is shared is what I want to be shared. Now, normally that's just going to be the featured image. When you're sharing Facebook and other things like that, they just take the first image they can find. This lets me have control over what image is seen. And so if I want a certain image to be shown when someone shares one of my posts, my newsletters on Facebook, I can select an image and add it right here. And when I'm done doing all that, I can scroll up here, and if you're making a new post, it would say publish. Since we're just editing this example, it says update, and we're going to update that. And after we've updated, we can go and view the post. And it's taken us back to this example on the front end. And that is how you add a newsletter to the 10,000 Reasons website.